Hi guys, it's Heather at Journey to Wonderland. Just doing a really quick check-in. It's been a couple months since I made a vlog, and it's also been a couple months since I've watched a lot of videos. So I am pretty far out of the loop, but I miss you guys. Um, I miss the support and the camaraderie that we all have here on YouTube and also on Facebook. Um, but I'm in a really intense school program right now, so I'm pretty much working full time, commuting like 40 miles a day, and then I get to work at home a few days a week, so that does help. But I'm working full time, going to school, taking kind of graduate level database computer classes, and any free time I have is spent exercising or cooking P3 foods. So that's my life. So anyway, I miss you guys. I will come back and start vlogging more probably in July after I graduate. I am going to start another round. I'll start round 4 probably mid-June. I'm heading to a family reunion in San Francisco in a couple of weeks. And then right after I get back, one of my best friends is flying into town from Juneau. And so I'll be playing we will be playing tourist here in Seattle, so probably not a good time for me to start around then. But I will load the week after he flies home and then start round 4 and get another chunk of weight off. Stats wise, I'm doing okay. I did go off of keto P3. I did go off of P3 over Easter. I wanted to have one day of normal food, is what I told myself. And I had ham and asparagus and potatoes and ate just like everybody else. And that included getting into chocolate for dessert. And that's when the binge started. And I probably had 3 or 4 candy bars worth of chocolate just on Easter. And I'm type 2 diabetic. I don't ever eat sugar. And I don't think I've had really any sugar for 8 months before Easter. And so I went off the deep end, and I told myself I'd get back on the next day, but because I had all that sugar going through my system, and we all know now, those of us on keto and probably some of us on HCG know that when you put those carbs into your system and your body can't handle it, your leptin and insulin cycles go haywire. And it took me 2.5, 3 weeks to get back on the keto wagon, and I'm now back on it. So I did gain maybe 10 pounds during those 2 or 3 weeks. I've slowly lost some, and for a while there, at the worst of my overeating and being off the wagon, I didn't weigh. I didn't want to know what I weighed. But I finally, a couple days ago, got brave enough to step back on the scale. I am about 4 pounds above LPW. Before my Easter binge, I was 4 pounds below LPW. So I know that even though right now I seem stabilized, I am about 8 pounds above what I was before the binge. But again, I'm not stressing it. I'm technically only 4 pounds above LPW, or about 2 pounds outside of Simeon's recommended window. Not perfect, but I'm not going to stress about it. Because what I've discovered what I've discovered during this whole P3 experience for this round is that stress and stressing about food and being too restrictive with my thoughts about food are guaranteed to make me binge and make me not care about food. It's like a little rebellion inside of me. So I was working with a doctor. Per my primary doc's suggestion, she recommended I work with a diet doctor. And I started seeing him right at the end of P2 for this last round. And he wanted me to keep on losing weight during my stabilization. And so he put me on a keto plan, which I like keto. I feel healthy on it. And I do a modified keto naturally because that's just where I feel healthy. So naturally on P3, I'll just do green veggies, some dairy. I do well with dairy, not so well with nuts, so I limit those. But I do green veggies, lots of good fats. I never restrict fats, and then I do moderate protein. So, and by moderate protein, I recognize that one hefty serving of protein is enough for me at a meal. I no longer go back, like on my Atkins days of 10 years ago, I no longer go back and have a 16-ounce steak, because I recognize that's too much. But now I'll have, a nice salad with some nice ranch dressing on it, and maybe some keto coffee on the side, and then I'll have a moderate, like a 6-ounce steak. And that's kind of how I do keto. So again, I don't know if I'm actually in ketosis. I know that I feel good, I know my blood sugars are stable, and I know my weight is stable. And for me on P3, that's enough. Where I went wrong, and I've learned my lesson, is that I was working with this doctor and really trying to please him and do what he wanted. And I was weighing and measuring everything that went into my mouth. I was recording everything on FitnessPal. And it really started to feel like a restrictive diet. And I've been dieting since I was 5. Correction, I've been dieting and binging. So I've been yo-yo dieting since I was 5. Because my response to food restriction is to do it for as long as I can, and then I just go off the deep end and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. So I don't diet anymore. And I know that sounds funny sitting here on an HCG related website or video, but I don't diet. I am willing for P2 to do a restricted 500 calorie plan for that month or month and a half that I'm on P2, because the benefits of the great weight loss and the body reshaping and the hormone stabilization, the benefits far outweigh the drudgery of counting calories. And it's important for me, it's only that short period of time I'm doing it. And then I know during P3, that's my rest and recuperation phase. That's when I don't really limit the amount of food. I just stay away from sugars and starches. And it's worked for me for the last 3 rounds. So I did stop doing the really strict keto that my doctor recommended. I will go back and see him for P2 to see what he has to offer during P2 and see if it's a better experience than doing it on my own. So I am gonna do round 4 under his supervision. But and we had a talk about this at the beginning, and I said, I have a history of binge eating in response to diets. He thought I should try it anyway because he really wanted me to lose weight during P3. I went into it knowing that I didn't want to lose weight during P3, that P3 for me was a physical and emotional rest period for me. But I decided to do it anyway because he's the doctor, and my doctor wanted me to do it too, so I was kind of getting the you should do it statements from both of them, and so I tried it. And we also, I told him early on, I said, I feel comfortable doing P3 eating to hunger. He told me that I am so fat that I don't know what hunger is, and therefore it's impossible to eat to hunger. I can kind of see, he explained the science of it to me about leptin and how if you're really fat, you don't recognize leptin signals. I get it. But his argument was, I'm too fat to recognize what my body needs. So I have to outsmart my body by weighing and measuring everything and restricting calories. Well, that didn't work for me. And I flat out told him, it doesn't work for me. I'm going back and I'm going to eat to hunger. Now, I am eating to hunger these last couple weeks after my binge. I got that out of my system, got back on track, and now I'm on P3 doing my own style keto. I'm eating to hunger, and I'm eating moderate protein, good veggies, good fats, and just eating to hunger. Some days I'll have 2,500 calories, some days I'll have 1,800 calories. At 300 some pounds, yeah, I'm not losing weight, but I've lost 130 pounds in the last year. I think, coming with my emotional eating history, I need a rest and recuperation period. So from here on out, I'm kind of declaring to myself and to all of you out there, from here on out, P3 is my rest and recuperation and stabilization period. I'm not going to try and lose weight during P3 anymore. I'm 40 years old. I've been fat since I was 5. I have a total of like 250 pounds to lose. I'm almost at my halfway point. And if it takes me till I'm 45 to get down to where I want to be, so be it. But I'm not gonna deal with the stress of dieting during P3. I'm going to just make sure I'm taking care of my body and eating healthy and kind of re-nutrifying it after the strictness of P2. That being said, I know it sounds odd to say I'm not dieting anymore on a diet video. But again, I don't see HCG as a diet. I see it as a medical protocol to re-normalize your hormones. And I really believe that's what it is. And so, for 3 weeks to a month to 6 weeks, whatever length of P2 I choose, I can count calories and limit fat. I can do that. But P3, that's my sacred rest and recuperation phase. I'm not dieting during P3 anymore. So that's my main message. And I didn't even know that was my message until I got into this video. Anyway, that's really, I guess, what I wanted to say. And if there's anybody else out there, you know what? Give yourself a break and give yourself some slack. You're doing what's healthy for your body, and P3 is for stabilization. Simeon said it, it's for stabilization. And I would go further to say it's also to kind of re-nutrify your body and get your body back, give your body some good nutrition. You've not been eating fully for a month or 6 weeks or 3 weeks. You haven't been eating fully. So you do need to, within Simeon's limits, don't go get a potato, but within Simeon's limits, have some good quality grass-fed protein or whatever it is. Have some good fish. Have lots of veggies and lots of good tasty fats to keep you satisfied. Yeah, that's my soapbox. So I'm going to put that away for right now. I've kind of said what I wanted to say. Again, I miss you guys. I look forward to coming back and seeing you guys in June. Yeah, that's it. So anyway, happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. And I will check in with you in a month or so. Okay, bye-bye, and thanks for watching.